Hi, I'm Patty Smith.
This is Bert Newton.
Hey, this is Karen.
I'm Sam from Interpol.
I'm Carlos from Interpol.
This is Martha Wainwright.
Alex from the Orb.
And you're listening to a Triple R archive on rrr.org.au.
Hi, this is Roseanne Cash, and you're listening to Off the Record.
You are indeed, and I'm very pleased to welcome into the studio Neko Case. And friends, thanks for coming in so early.
You're welcome.
Joining us. Yeah, would you like to introduce your fellow musicians?
Yeah, these are my bandmates. This is Eric Bachman over here. He's playing guitar and singing.
Hello.
And he looks especially handsome this morning.
You said it.
And then Kelly Hogan over here, looking like a hot. She's in her Helsinki fog outfit right now,
Right.
which is fantastic.
And I was saying to Kelly before, I'm glad I brought Kelly's album in because I might get a chance to play a track from that a little bit later into terrific
Or
album
9
as
or
well.
10.
Well, or 1 or 2. Hey, Neko, tonight you're playing at the Melbourne Zoo. You're doing a few gigs around Victoria. Tonight at the Zoo.
Yes.
Sunday at the Corner. Mm-hmm. Next week at Wome Adelaide. Get a chance to see you there. And then you're coming back to the Meenian Town Hall, which is a fantastic gig. And Sunday at Golden Plains. So you're going to be busy with the band.
Yeah, slutting it up. Down under.
And you've got a couple of the members. Who else is in the band with you?
Dan Hunt plays drums and sings, and John Rawhouse plays pedal steel and guitar and banjo and all kinds of other things. And then Tom Ray plays bass. They're not here right now because they're, I think, probably silently watching cricket, all snuggled up together in one bed somewhere. Yeah. That's what they do when we come to Australia.
Sounds cozy. Hey, I was going to ask you to talk about Kelly Hogan. Can you talk about
That would be
ahead.
awkward.
Go ahead.
She's sitting right there.
Talk about me.
I didn't realise she was coming in.
Talk about me.
Why don't we should just get Kelly Hogan to talk about Kelly Hogan?
Good morning.
You've been friends for a long time, and
Yeah.
Kelly, you've sort of worked a lot, and you had your own album out, as I said. I Like to Keep Myself in Pain.
Oh, yes.
Which is not quite as long as Neko's title as Neko's latest
She's
album.
always trying to one-up me. So, yeah.
Our friendship is more of a competition, I would say.
Yeah. How many reps can you do?
Exactly.
So it's great that you were able to. You're on tour together, obviously.
This is like our one. This is when we get to see each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Because she lives in Vermont and I live in Wisconsin. So yeah, it's great. We get to hang out.
And you've been pretty busy since the release of the latest album, the title of which is, we'll get out of the way here, The Worse Things Get, The Harder I Fight, the More I Love You, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But you've appeared on the Prairie Home Companion, you've done the Conan O'Brien Show, you've done Comedy Central, and you've really kind of been busy.
I'm really trying to kill myself with activities. Yes.
So, and also I should mention that the album was nominated for a Grammy Award.
Yes.
Does that help? That's sort of.
I think so. It's like becoming a doctor. They put Grammy nominated before your name now.
Your accreditation.
They do
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
In the press releases.
Yeah. So you don't actually have to win one, which is good, because I don't know what happens after that. I guess you have to start wearing special clothing, or I don't know what happens to you then. You have to get wheelbarrows for money, or I'm not really sure. But
did you get to go to the ceremony?
well, I could have gone, but I was on tour, so it's really.
We played Houston, Texas.
Yeah, we played Houston, Texas instead, which was good. We made money, which was better than me going to the ceremony because it's probably the most expensive thing you can ever do. So. It was.
You have to buy tickets to it because you went the other time.
I did. Well, you don't have to buy your one ticket, but everything else, like going there and staying in the hotel, and then you have to get a car, and because you can't just show up there. Yeah. You got to be in a car.
Buy a new
quote
outfit.
Unquote. You don't, but you do have to go through metal detectors, which lots of people don't know. It's kind of like going to a high school in a bad neighborhood. You have to go through the metal detectors.
Going to prom in a bad neighborhood.
Exactly.
Okay.
So in a world of that's increasingly competitive in terms of the music industry and creating a profile, I suppose just being Grammy nominated helps, doesn't it? It can't possibly harm a career. Although I
don't think it hurts. I don't know.
It's a nice accolade
at my
too,
level.
isn't it?
I don't know if it really helps or not. there's no way for me to really step outside myself and know those things. It's definitely a very nice honor, and I appreciate it.
You're going to play a couple of songs for us, so why don't we hear one now, and then we'll come back and have a little bit more of a chat, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yep.
Live in the studios of Triple R for Off the Record, Neko Case with Eric and Callie, and they will be appearing tonight at the Melbourne Zoo, tomorrow at the Corner Hotel, and next week at Golden Plains. I'll be back in town, and the Menian Town Hall in Gippsland, which will be... You haven't played there before?
No.
Oh, what's that like?
It's a fabulous experience, I can tell you that.
Okay.
You're going to really enjoy it.
Yay!
It's a small hall in a country town with a very enthusiastic and reverent audience. So
That's what we signed up for.
I like those ingredients. Yeah, indeed.
And Womadelaide will be an interesting experience as well, of an entirely different kind in a beautiful setting as well. Can I just ask you a few things about the latest album? It's because it's a really personal story, isn't it?
Some of it, yes.
So can you talk about the background to recording it? And
It just took a really long time. It was a bit of a slog. Just wasn't feeling so great, and I don't know. There's not really anything unusual about it. You know, my parents died, my grandmother died in a fairly short time frame, so I just kind of wasn't paying attention to that like I should have been, and just touring, and so it just kind of knocked the wind out of me for a bit.
so did you have to take some time out just to absorb all that? Because I can imagine you get so busy touring and doing other stuff that you don't have a chance to process all these things.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't take the time off on purpose so much as I kept trying to get started, and it just was false start after false start. I didn't have a good enough grip of it to have gone, yes, I'm going to take some me time. It was more just kind of fumbling through.
And, well, was it a cathartic experience? A lot
No,
of people think
not
it's
at all. No, it was a drag. It was not a good time. I worked mostly every day, so there was still stuff to work on, and it got funner toward the end, but in the beginning it was, I don't remember a lot about it.
What about
I blacked it out. I just every day kind of blended into another, and it just wasn't, I wasn't having any fun.
So what about the writing process? Was that not fun either, or is it kind of all tied
That's
into
kind of automatic. So, like I said, I worked on it a lot, but I don't have a lot of memory. It's one of those things, I try to work constantly, but I don't really try because I'm kind of a workaholic. So, there's not much of a difference between intent and waking up every day. It was blurry. I feel bad because I'm not good at describing it. It was just depression and cruddiness mixed with, everydayness.
So how did you feel when you finally got it finished? Was that...
Oh, totally relieved that it was finished. It didn't have anything to do with depression or my personal life or anything, but the actual act of finishing the record was a really great feeling because it had been about 4 years, yeah.
Were you performing on stage at the same... Like, you were touring as well, weren't you?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I toured on and off throughout that time, and those things were good, but, like I said, I definitely wasn't operating at full capacity.
In the light of that, you must be really pleased at the acclaim for the album. Not just the fact that you got nominated for a Grammy, but the fact that people sort of had taken to the album
Well,
so
that's also relief for sure, because when you do things differently than you've been doing them for so long, you wonder, well, there's a lot of personal songs about myself on the record. I'm more known for writing little stories and things that are kind of more interesting. So I was relieved that people, could build an attachment to it.
There's some pretty interesting songs on this album. I mean, one of them you write as, I'm a man as a man, don't you? From that perspective.
I am a man, so that didn't feel that weird to me. People act like it's weird, but it's not weird.
And other interesting perspectives in the lyrics, aren't there? Sort of, maybe it's harder for you to see.
It's really hard for me to see, so I feel bad when you say that, because I'm like,
I'm thinking of something like Wild Creatures, for example.
Oh yeah, that song was actually written for the Hunger Games soundtrack, the first one. And I'd written another song as well, and I chose the other one instead. So this one I had, and I was really fond of it, and I tweaked it a bit to be more personal and a bit more bizarre than it was originally. But that one was, I don't know, I'm fond of that one.
So now that that's kind of out of the way and that's done, and how have you been working on something new?
I mostly have been touring and just doing, I don't have a manager right now, so it's mostly just been working, to be honest. There are lots of new ideas and some kind of half-baked plans at the moment that will become something, but yeah, there will be another record happening. And the new Pornographer's new record comes out, I think, in August or September. I don't know when. They don't have a date yet, so.
So you're going to be touring with them as well?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to grace us with another song?
Sure.
Yeah, grace. Let's use
Gracing
grace as
it.
a verb.
Yes.
All right, cool. Hold on, I need my guy. All right, go ahead.
Get it?
Yep.
Change the way I loved you.
Neko Case, Eric Bachman, Kelly Hogan in the studios for Triple R, off the record. They will be appearing at the Melbourne Zoo tonight.
Yeah.
That's going to be a really interesting show, I reckon. There's lots of concerts been happening there recently, and
I want to touch some lemurs, I'm hoping.
All right.
That's why I agree to these things. Where I want to touch the lemurs.
just don't get too close to the chimpanzee's cage. They have some very bad habits, I can tell you that.
It's okay.
Oh, we know some people like that. It's okay.
Musicians, I
Yeah.
presume.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Kelly, why don't we have a chat about your album?
Sure, man.
Seeing
Sir?
you here.
Yeah.
She came all this way.
I like to
did.
keep myself in pain. It's a really interesting album. You've chosen some of, I presume, your favourite songwriters.
Definitely. Yeah. I sort of, went through my Rolodex and called in some favors and asked some folks to write songs for me because I realized I'd been doing this a long time and singing with a bunch of people. So everybody amazingly said yes. So yeah, Robin Hitchcock sent me the title song, and yeah, the Handsome Family, and gosh, I can't even think right now. But yeah, it was. I was amazed, and then the whole Booker T. Jones working with James Gadsden and Booker T. Jones and Gabe Roth from the Dap Kings. It was amazing.
Tell us how that came about.
One of our guys that works for our amazing record label Anti out of Los Angeles, that was kind of his idea. He's like, let's just invest the money in the personnel, and we went into this to this really great studio in Los Angeles that had a lot of good kind of ghosts in it. It's where like Mamas and Papas did all their stuff, and all the Wrecking Crew and everybody worked, and I can't even tell you guys how great it smells in there. It's got a great smell in there. And so we sort of invested in this little time, and we all just met and kind of created the songs all together, really. Just 5 days. It's like, hello, Mr. Jones, hello, Mr. Gadsden, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and we were off. We just kind of all made the record together.
I guess with those that caliber of musician, you're not going to have to tell them what to do, are you? Really?
Well, I kind of did.
Did you?
Not had to, but yeah. I mean, I was the captain, so which was Excuse me, Booker T, could you do that again? Yeah, right. It was like the craziest week of my life. Just talking about it, it seems like a fever dream. But it was great. Everybody, we all had our ideas, and that's how the record turned out.
And Neko, on your album, you've got quite a number of guests as well, haven't you? Sort of assembling those and getting them all to. How did that all take place? Was that an easy process for you?
Some people were planned in advance for a long time, and then some people just happened to be in town. And we would call, Tucker and I would call like a day in advance. And
Tucker Martine.
I think Steve Turner and Matt Ward. Matt always ends up on my records that way. Like, I'm in town for an afternoon. Yes, come on in. So, yeah, some people, Calexico and how I always beg them to come play, and they do our husband band. Yes. We always talk about Calexico like they're our husband. I don't know. I mean, like I said, I don't remember everything about recording the record, but Bo Coster from My Morning Jacket spent a lot of time.
Jim James is in there as well.
Jim James did some stuff, and it was quite an epic. An epic of recording.
It sounds great, and thank you very much to the three of you for coming in this morning.
Our pleasure.
Looking forward to seeing you in concert. Hey, why don't we play a track from Kelly's album, and then we'll play a track from yours. How about that?
Oh, Lord.
Should we play? I like Pass On By, but you can choose anything.
Yeah, that's Pass On By. I've always been a fan of Charlie Rich, and then his wife Margaret Ann Rich. She wrote that song, so that's a Charlie Rich cover of a Margaret Ann Rich song.
Fantastic. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
Triple R.
For complete access to the Triple R archives, which include over 100 interviews, live-to-air performances, documentaries, and other Triple R specials, become a subscriber via the link on our website. Thanks for listening to Triple R.